All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Good evening, everyone. Apparently, we're having technical difficulties with no sound coming from our sign tech, but we are here large and in charge, and we're going to start the show off. And tonight, we are going to definitely have a really good time. We are going to be talking about online dating, virtual love. And so we will definitely have a wonderful conversation. And without further ado, I am yours truly, Dr. Fabulous, the CEO and founder of Upscale Love for You. And without further ado, I'm going to slide it right on over to you, Special K, founder of Upscale Love for You. And with
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fabulous. Good evening, everyone. This is Special K. I'm here in the 912 Savannah, Georgia, and I just want to thank everyone, if this is your first time listening, thank you for joining us tonight, and a big thank you and welcome back to all of our loyal watchers and listeners. Let's have a good time tonight, and I'm going to pass it over to Lady T.
Okay, Lady T may not be available.
Okay.
Can you? Okay, so I'm gonna get on over there to that old distinguished brother. Hello, distinguished brother. Can you hear us?
Good evening, everyone. I'm the distinguished brother. I am here to impart some knowledge. I am here to impart some feel good to all things. And tonight, I think tonight's subject is going to be very good for everyone. We have some notes, I have some ideas, and I have some information that I think everyone will be able to partake of.
All right, distinguished brother. And with last but not least, we have Dr. Feelgood.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Feelgood here, the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, coming from the 571 while I'm having fun and I'm getting things done. Back to you, Dr. Fab.
Okay, so in his absence, we have Action J. He's running a little behind schedule this evening. Also, we have Lady T. I believe she's having a little technical difficulty as well. But
I'm here, Dr. Fab.
Oh, okay. Go. Come on, Dr. Lady T. I am
Welcome,
so sorry.
everyone. Welcome. This is yours truly, Lady T, coming live from the 305.
All right. Okay, so as we said, we are going to open up the floor. We are having the conversation about virtual love. And when you came in, I don't know if it asked you a poll question, but I'm asking the question now. Have any of you ever partake in online dating? And if you have, if you'll put a 1 in the chat. If you have not, please put a 2 in the chat. And I just want to see. Okay, I see a couple of 1s. Okay. All right. Leanne, you mean tell me in this day and time you have never done online dating?
Real love.
Okay, well.
There's nothing like, no, I don't do online. No, ma'am. That's why I'm on here now, so I can learn something new and see. That's too much of my time and attention. So, you know.
Okay. Well, Leanne, let me give you just a little insight about Upscale Love for You, because we are coming large and in charge with a new dating site just for you, Leanne. Okay. Upscale Love is formulated to entertain, educate, and facilitate self-help, self-love, and everything you want or wish to know about love, relationships, dating, marriage, etc., etc. Upscale Love for you is to uncover hot topics and sensitive issues. So, if you want to hear some hot, juicy topics, please don't let this be your first or last time. Come on back because we are here to conversate and have a real good time. So, without further ado, our first man up for the hour is none other than this distinguished brother. Are you ready for us, distinguished brother?
I am. Again, hello to everyone. Online dating. First off, I'm going to say that I am a big proponent of it because it has introduced me to the love of my life right now. We have been together for the last 14 years, and we did meet online. I know that people have some ideas about online dating. There are a lot of stories out about how bad it is, how dangerous it is, the fact that you don't know what you're getting. And I disagree with all of that. It's a simple matter of taking a few steps, taking a few safety precautions. And I think it's one of the best things on the planet because one, you get to date multiple people at the same time. I know that a lot of folks are like, well, I need to see who I'm dating or I need to meet them somewhere. But in today's time, especially with everything that's going on, for you to get through enough people to find that one, it is very hard to date 5, 6, 7 people and try to whittle it down to that one person that you think is going to be the one for you. But with online dating, it eliminates that in my mind. At least that's how it worked for me, because I was actually dating about 5 people at a time. And you get to control the flow of things. You get to determine when you talk, where you talk. You get to determine if you're even going to be bothered with that person because you don't have to deal with them being in your physical space. The other point is you also get to meet them in real time when you decide to meet them in real time. Don't know everybody's dating style on here, but if you're one of those that likes to, meet somebody at a club or you arrange a dinner date or lunch date or whatever, things come up.
It's gonna be the best summer ever. What did you just say? What are you doing?
What was that?
No, someone was talking. Don't worry about it. You got it,
Oh,
distinguished
okay.
brother. Go ahead.
Okay. You can arrange all of these things and you are in total control of it. Also, you don't have all the repercussions of dealing with a real-time date issue. Even if you're not as old as some of us are on here, you really nowadays don't have time to deal with the crap. You need to be able to find out information about a person. You need to be able to determine if that person is real or not. And if not, you need to be able to cut that person off without you having to worry about, are they going to sneak up on the job? Are they going to show up at the house? Do I have to roll up my car windows when I go down the street because some fool is going to be sitting there waiting on me? Online dating eliminates all of those problems. And you can also take time to learn about a person before you have to deal with them again in real life. And I do have a couple of safety tips I want to go over. And once I'm done with these, you guys can ask me any questions that you might have. Safety tip number 1, if you're going to do online dating, get a dating email address. And what I mean by that is create another email address. Call it anything you want, but that is the only email address that you give out. And that is the email address that you use for the dating site. That's your protection. If somebody wants to act stupid, all they have is an email address. How hard is it to block an email address? Or, hey, just make a new one and turn that one off. You never have to hear from that person again. Another thing, for the first month or 2, only talk to that person through the website. By only talking to them through the website, you eliminate the possibility of them contacting you when you don't want to be contacted. The only time they can talk to you is through the website. And if you don't want to talk, you simply don't answer.
Well, I'm gonna jump
Three,
in right here, distinguished brother. I hear what you're saying, but you're saying talk to a person through an email or
through the
via, what
website.
did you say? Through the website for an entire month. So, what about these people that always, when they meet you or whatever, they ask you, do you have WhatsApp? Do you have Google app? This and that and the other. I feel that if you meet them on a dating site, I'm not going to download nothing else to chat with you through Google, WhatsApp, or anything. I'm going to stay on the dating app that we met on. And if you don't want to chat on that app, oh, well, kick rocks and keep it moving. Because why would you transfer over to something else to chat with somebody if they don't want to talk? Because more than likely, when that person have you on WhatsApp and Google app, guess what? They want to text. And if they're going to text, you might as well text through the what? The dating app, right?
That's what he was saying. That's what he said. He said
Exactly.
just stay chatting on the app, because on the app you're able to make phone calls. You could do a video. You typically use a video chat, kind of like how Facebook is set up. You could do the video calls or a video phone, so they can contact you through the app, and the app is like an extension of a phone anyway. So I think that's what you're saying. Is that right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what I'm implying. And that's why I said you should do so for a month or two. Now, that's not in stone, but the reason that I say at least a month, you have a lot of people out here that are good for a year. They can put on a face for 30 days, they can put on a face for 90 days. But if you're the kind of person like I am and you ask a question, you come back, you ask the same question a different way, you come back, you ask it a third time a different way, they can usually either, one, if they're honest, they're going to answer the question with the same information, just not the same way. Or two, you're going to pick up on something that was said or done that puts up a red flag. And in this way, you're still protected because, again, you're only on the app. They have no other way of getting in touch with you. And that's why I say you should do it for at least a month or two, because people can put on a front for a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Hell, I've seen some people put on fronts for 3 or 4 months. But if you take time to get to know that person first before you do a live meeting, that gets you to get through a lot. The next thing I would also recommend, especially for the ladies, is to go Dutch. I know that's old fashioned. I know that some people are like, I'm not going Dutch. If I'm going out, he's going to pay for it. No, you go Dutch. Here's why. One, by going Dutch, there are no expectations. You still have these people out here that believe if I'm paying, I need to get something back. So if you pay for yours, he pay for his, everybody's on neutral ground. You get to know that person without any expectations. And if they don't go for that, again, as it was said before, kick rocks. I ain't got time. I can move on.
I would say I heard a laugh in there, because I totally disagree with that. But go out, there's coffee. You could do something that's really inexpensive, or do something that you know that you can afford yourself. So in case he does act like an ass or whatever, you can is no problem if you can get your tab. But
Again, that's why I still suggest Dutch. Yes, I know it sounds like I said in the beginning, it's old fashioned, it's out of date. I know that most people still think the man should pay, but if you go Dutch, even if it is over a cup of coffee, you know that you got yours. He know that he got his. We're here to talk and get to know each other. We have nothing exclusive at this point. And, some people may not agree. You may see it differently. I'm just throwing it out there, like I said, as a suggestion. Never get out your real number or email until things have gotten serious between the two of you. Always stick with that dating email. Always stick with the app. And the last thing is, before you even give out anything personal, meet that person 1 or 2 times and make sure you're getting the same person each time.
Okay. So you're saying don't even give out a telephone number. people can call the telephone number. It's up to you whether or not you want to
Exactly. I'll
answer
be
it.
playing those games. If I don't like you, I'm like, look, block.
Exactly. Because if you give a person your
Send it
telephone
back.
number, I'm the person that will put a face with a voice, whatever. And when you, well, just like you say, you could have more than one email, you can have more than one telephone, but why play those games if you're dating intentionally? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You're wasting time when you meet someone, whether it's on Black, or what is it, Upscale Love for You. Get that? I threw that in there parenthetically. But anyway,
Well,
what I'm saying is, if you meet someone and you're truly interested in them, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
feel like, well, why are we running around the merry-go bush
Exactly.
to do this, to do that? You cut into the chase, because if you don't like them, you
I'm
don't
gonna
have to
block
give
you.
them any time. I'm not even gonna
okay.
block you. What I'm gonna have a conversation with you and say, I don't think that it's going anywhere.
Exactly.
So let's, don't waste my time. I don't want to waste yours. And you can part ways in a manner where it won't be any love
Respectful.
loss or no hatred. Okay,
Right.
Leanne, you
Okay.
got
Yeah.
your hand up.
Yes, because I've never participated in online dating, and I'm listening to what the gentleman is saying. He said it's for our safety. Now, you could like somebody, but you didn't take that time, that month or two, to get to know him. You could like him. He could be putting on a fake show for a year or so, and you really liking him, but look what you've got yourself into.
So
Not
what
only
are you
that,
saying that you
but
got yourself
again,
into, Leanne?
Because you say, oh, I might like him. If you like him and he likes you, he should be patient enough to want to do things your way and learn and get to know him.
But when you meet someone out in the street in society, do you wait a month or two to
Exactly. I was
talk
gonna
to
say
them
the
on the
same thing.
telephone?
You meet somebody at the
No,
grocery store, you give them your
no,
number, he
no.
cute enough,
That's
y'all talk.
no. We specifically saying online dating,
line, yeah, again,
not yes,
let
not
me
meeting in the public.
in real life. So let me clarify a couple of things here.
Okay.
What you two ladies are saying, I fully understand and agree with. You should be able to break up with somebody, be mature about it. Everybody goes their own separate ways. But I know from other people that have been online that even in real life and online, people are not always that way. So I am going from a cautious side of saying it would not hurt to not give out that information, because one, you're dating more than one person. Again, remember, that was one of the first things I said about this whole situation. It allows you to date more than one person at a time. You can chat to 3 or 4, 5, 6 or 7 people at the same time to whittle down to that person. Now, when you whittle down to that person, it's all up to you whether or not you decide that you want to try to give them that number, you want to try to give them that access, you want to try to meet them and see what it's all about. I have no problems with that. But purely from a safety standpoint, since you will be talking to multiple people at the same time, you want to be able to keep them separate. You want to be able to keep them isolated. You want to be able to keep yourself insulated from any and all possible situations by doing it the way that I am suggesting. One, it makes it easier for you. Two, it protects you. And then three, when you do get to that person, you ain't got to worry about some fool from the other side coming in trying to mess with what you have, thinking that there was a relationship there when there really was nothing at all. So I'm saying all of these things just from a cautious standpoint. That's it.
Okay. Well, I have a question for you, and we have 3 hands raised. We had Sandy up first, Angela, and then Kay. So we're going to go in that order. Are the questions for distinguished brother? Go ahead, Sandy.
The questions are for a distinguished brother.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, it wasn't really a question, but I see for the protection purposes, but I'm also agreeing with Dr. Love here is, it's the games. And I'm not gonna remember I barely remember passwords to be getting into. I don't be creating no new no email addresses. I'm not doing it. I don't. I've had the same number for some decades now, so we just gonna roll with it. If we connect, we connect. If we don't, it is what it is.
And
And
that's your choice. That's your choice.
yeah,
Like I said, I'm doing it strictly from a safety standpoint. So, okay, who was next?
Angela,
Angela, good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to make the statement also about the phone numbers and things. They have Google numbers. So you really don't have to use your own personal number. You can get a Google number if you would like to speak to the person, opposed to the texting and staying with the app. But again, it is for safety reasons, because you see so many situations with these things. However, because you never know who you're talking to. That's number one, because a lot of these people create fake profiles and things of that nature. And a month, 90 days, it doesn't matter. They're going to show who they are regardless eventually. So that's it.
I think that's true. But
So
coming from me, I don't have time for all those games to be dating, talking to 3, 4, 5 different women. I don't have time for that. I mean, I've done that when I was a kid and everything. So it's different for me. But I do understand what the distinguished brother is saying, though. But I think as you get older, you don't have time for all that. You know, I could just date one woman and stuff like that. If it don't work out, don't work out. You know what I mean? So, and go from there. Like, 'cause like I said, you can have my number. Like I said, if we don't talk, you can block it. I don't have
right.
time going through getting this number, getting this email, this and like that. When I was young, I had this number, that number, passwords and stuff. You know what I mean? I can't remember my password now, and I'm grown. My password is ABC123. I'm always asking my kids for it because I can't do it.
And Angie, one
Oh,
thing that will send a woman on fire, I mean, make me enrage me so. If a person give me a Google number and it says, you dial the number and it says, this Google subscriber, I'm like, I wish, so I know you made that suggestion, but I think that's the biggest turn off for that. That's definitely a red flag for me, because immediately that makes me think, is this person married? Is this person flamming, shamming, or whatever? Because if you have to give me a Google number, keep your number. Don't even give me your telephone number, because I don't even want it. Okay. So those Google numbers, you all, if that's your thing, hoorah, hoorah.
yeah, I
But
agree with
the
you.
one that
I
will
agree with
send
you.
me to the next pit of hell is a person giving
That
me
gives me
a
a Google
Google
number.
number. Okay.
My thing is like,
Kay,
oh,
the man's supposed to
yes,
be protective, and if you scared of me, then you need to take your little wet ass on somewhere. I'm not for you.
exactly.
I'm
Don't
not.
a lot of
give
times,
me
no,
no
it's
Google
not
nothing.
about the guy being scared of you. Again, I guess I'm just a protective kind of individual. When it comes to women, I try to look at it from how to keep you from being in a bad situation. And again, that's why I always suggest for any of my female friends that were looking into it, I did the same thing. Set up this profile, set up this email, and this is how you communicate. You don't have to remember 500 numbers, 500 passwords. You got this app, you got this email. That is it.
Mm.
Now, once you get past that and you feel comfortable with this person, you give them what you want. But to start the process to keep everybody, especially the women, safe, do it this way. That way, if you decide to cut this fool off and they want to act a fool, you have nothing,
I think
nothing
people
to be
that
concerned
cheat,
about.
that's the method they use, because the wife or the boyfriend don't have access to that number. They don't have access to that email address. So those would be red flags for me. Typically, people that got more, they got other, dating shit going on. They set up separate emails and stuff like that. Um, and it's untraceable. So, y- you know, all my social media is public. So, I mean, and the guys that are got stuff going on, I scare them, I think, because all my stuff is public like that. And so if they're married or they living with some girlfriends and stuff like that, I'm unapproachable to them anyway.
And it
But-
goes back to what he said from the beginning. The key word is safety.
Right. We understand. And I understand if you're talking, that's what I said. If you're going to talk to someone, continue to talk to them through the app. But don't ask me to download Google to chat with you because I'm not doing it. Don't ask me to download WhatsApp to talk to you
Or
because
anything.
I'm not doing it.
Right,
If
exactly.
we red on black, we gonna
You don't need a
chat
Google
black.
number.
Exactly.
They could call you through the app. They could chat through the
Exactly.
app. You can set your
Yeah,
notifications so you get notified. So you don't have to miss their message from you or whatever. Like you could do a lot with the app. You don't have to
So
those
all that
extreme
added
methods.
extra mess, I'm not doing no added extra. And this, when we get a little
Oh,
bit
no.
deeper in here, I got a joke for all the ladies. Special K, you had your hand up, and then Mr. Beard, then Anson. Go ahead, Special K.
So I was just going to say, but Angela actually touched on it earlier, that about the Google number. I have done online thing, and you have something called discernment to a degree, right? Everybody usually does. Sometimes I look at it in the aspect of, I just don't want a lot of people to have my number, just simple as that, whether I can block them or not. Yeah, we all have the block feature on our phone. So that, now I don't know if I know what you're talking about, Dr. Fabulous. Usually those sometimes with like those text now numbers and things that'll say that recording when you don't get them. I don't believe the new Google Voice or Google Meet numbers do
It
that. I'm
does.
not sure.
No,
It
it does.
does.
It
Okay.
says, hold
So,
on while we
because
look
that's
for
what
your
I do. I've
subscriber.
created one. And that is the number that I give out. And it's just, and then when I feel that it's someone that is worth, and remember, we're talking about the very beginning. You're just meeting someone, you talk for a little while, whatever that time frame is, then they ask for your number, or you guys agree to exchange numbers, and not all the time, but there have been instances where, yeah, I have given out a Google number, and it's just because I just don't want everybody to have my number. And I do look at it kind of as a safety issue in that aspect.
Are those for people that you meet in the street that you give this Google number, or do you meet them online?
No, this is majority. This is online majority. And that number is just there for anybody that I just don't want to have my actual phone number.
No, but what I'm asking you is, opposed to going through the Google number, why don't you just continue to talk through the chat?
Exactly.
The phone, because you can make telephone calls
So
now.
the reason I don't, for me personally, is because I don't set up notifications on my phone. Because normally when you're doing online dating, if that's your thing, you're going to get hit up by several guys. So every time a guy likes me or hits me up or sends me a message, it's coming to my phone. I just was one that I never liked that, where my phone is always dinging, 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 dinging. So the reason why I have that number is because a lot of times I would miss messages. So say you text me now at 8:59, you send a message. I may not see that until I log back into that particular app, which could be tomorrow afternoon. You get what I'm saying? So it was always a delay. So that's the reason why it's easier for me to a degree after a little while to just contact me via phone.
Okay, so let me say this to you, Special K, and I definitely understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, if you don't have notifications, that's fine, because when it takes some time for you to respond back to them, guess what? They don't think that you're sitting next to the phone, eager, waiting to respond. So sometimes a little lax in time can be a good thing for you, other than it notifies you and you respond immediately, because that kind of sort of looks a little desperate, but it's to each his own.
Yeah, I think
And
that's the take
now
on. I
we
don't look
know
at it that way,
now, I'm telling you
but
now
yeah.
because
Yeah,
when you're
everybody.
accessible to someone at the fingertip, like blah blah blah, it ding notification. Hey, yes, give it some time, give a little rest period. That's just thoughts from Dr. Fabulous, but it's up to each and every one of you to do your own thing. Mr. Beard, you had your hand. I'm sorry, Kay, are you finished?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Mr. Beard, you had your hand up. Go ahead, Mr. Beard. And after Mr. Beard, come on, answer. Mr. Beard?
Yes, ma'am. I kind of agree with what he was putting out. He was definitely just putting out general knowledge. Every step
Mhm.
didn't have to be taken. It goes by your comfortability level, and a lot of the stuff he said did make sense. But you actually said it earlier. The apps. You can most of the apps, especially the mainstream ones, you can video chat, you can phone call. They all do them all. So you literally can have a conversation or a relationship or a get to know ship, whatever you want to call it, before you actually shoot out your number to somebody. And
Mhm.
being a guy, I can understand the hesitation of women, what kind of world this is out there. So when a woman gives you a Google number, it really doesn't bother me as much when they do it, but I can see the apprehension when the guys do it because I know what their biggest concern is, their biggest worry is. So I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, when you jumping out there, to me, it's the same thing as meeting somebody in the street. Only difference
Hmm.
is to me, online dating is actually harder than in-person dating. Because when I meet you in the street, if I talk to you, if we exchange numbers, I know who you are. When you online dating, that's the biggest thing. Like I thought catfishing was a joke when I used to see the TV show until COVID hit, and I realized it's a real thing.
Some
And
real
that's
deal.
usually the big thing on both ends for men and women. So when I was doing the dating, so I ain't gonna say when I was doing it because I still do it from time to time now. They don't give out your email address when you register. There's nothing that you can give. They can't get your email address unless you give it to them. That's
Right.
privacy policy. They won't do that. When you register your number, they won't give that out. And they have in big bold letters, don't give out your number until you're ready when you log
Right.
in or if you start a new chat. So they do have preventive measures. Now, I can't speak on the shady ones and I can't talk about POF. It's been a long time since I messed with that one, but the Facebook dating, Hinge, BLK, all of those, they have put pretty good preventive measures in place. And then you have some like Hinge where the woman is in control. You can like all you want, but unless she likes you back, there will be no access. So they have different apps that do different things that kind of help you feel comfortable in engaging into this cyber world we've been thrown into.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that knowledge, Mr. Beard. Distinguished brother, don't go nowhere. We coming back at you, Dr. I say Dr. Anson. That could be prophetic. Anson, go ahead.
I raised my hand earlier when Sandy was saying that when a guy has a Google number or alternate email address, it could be signs of them cheating or whatever. My automatic thought was, what are you dating for in the first place? Like, if you're gonna be skeptical, if you're gonna be pessimistic, then don't be on there in the first place. If you're already gonna be skeptical of how someone goes about doing things, then you probably shouldn't be on there in the first damn place. And I will say that I also want to say that online dating, from what I've learned over this past 2 years, is no different than regular dating. You still deal with the same foolishness that you deal with in person. So the same stuff you dealt with men that you dated or women that you dated prior to going online is the same thing you have to deal with.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel you on that. It's
Same
like
foolishness.
when you talk to them, it's different because you hear it. When they texting online and stuff like that, you don't know what the game stuff like that. But when you actually in front of a person, you meet a person, you get the vibe and everything. You're not really getting the vibe from online and everything until you actually talk to them. You know what I mean? And then when you on online, for guys, you want a chick time. and everything. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you know, they're getting a whole bunch of guys, you know, hitting them up like that.
Right, right.
You know, yeah. So I mean, I'm with you on that.
Right. It's disproportionate in the real world, just like it is online. Even more so online. Y'all women know. Y'all women know.
So is
Y'all
it
can't.
that the guys have to pay? Does the
No,
guys
ain't
pay?
nothing about money. Ain't nothing about
No,
money.
I'm asking, because I don't know how it works on the online thing. Does guys have to pay? Is it free for women to chat? I'm just like, I don't know. I'm
I'm
asking
not talking
questions.
about money at all. I'm talking about just interacting with the opposite sex.
She don't even know parties.
But in answer to your question, some are free, some are not. They have some out there where the guys do have to pay. Most of them, if there is a pay, it is the guy that has to pay.
Oh, okay. Now, cause see, I don't know. I'm asking questions. Okay.
Yeah, from my experience, most of them, the guy has to pay for. I don't know why they made it that way, but that's how it is when I was doing it.
And that was 14 years ago, so that don't count because that has changed. So I just would say that.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
So yeah, it has changed because I think Match when your access to certain features, like you could, flirt with them with a little a nudge here and there, but you can't really say anything until you pay. So with eHarmony, I don't know if that's allowed anymore, but
So when
Because the site that I
listening to
use, it doesn't
you,
even exist anymore.
None of that work.
you said eHarmony.
I don't even know if that's existing anymore. I gave up because what I see out there, I'm not even impressed. So I'm mind my business.
Right.
Okay. All right. So the top tier of dating apps, and I'm polling this for the men. And I'm going to start with distinguished brother and work my way around, because I would like to know, and I'm sure the women would like to know, as far as the dating apps of this day and age, can someone tell me what is the top dating app for men where they have found it most successful? So I'm going to start with you, distinguished brother.
To be perfectly honest, I would be giving false information if I answered that. The best I could tell you is the ones that are still advertised on television today, which would be eHarmony, and there is one other that I have seen on late night commercials, but I really would not be able to answer that honestly right now.
I can't believe you watch TV like that. I haven't seen a commercial. I stream everything. I do not be watching.
Well, yeah, I mean, even with
Yeah.
with some channels, they still have the commercials in there. I mostly stream everything. This whole house is internet based now. I don't even have cable anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there another male on here that would like to tell me what dating site that you think is most effective? Anson, what was the website that you were on? Or dating site, I should say.
Facebook.
Facebook dating. So Facebook dating is in the runnings for the top tier of the dating sector.
No, not dating second, just Facebook in general. Because online,
Oh, okay.
like
So
I
you
said,
don't go to.
like I said, dating is dating, whether it's online or in person. It's all about interacting with someone. That's all it is. So
Okay.
I don't go to a site to do that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, who else is on here?
Say Hinge.
Dr. Feelgood. I'm sorry.
I was saying Hinge. I think it's a good site.
Oh, Hinge. Okay. Hinge. Who is this? Rich Boy Trey. Welcome. Have you been on a website, Rich Boy Trey? You're muted, Rich Boy.
No, I haven't.
I was about to ask you, you got the name Rich Boy Trey. How rich are you? I'm just teasing with you, sweetie. I'm just teasing. Leanne, you got your hand up. Go
Yes,
ahead, Leanne.
I just Googled top dating sites as of July 2023.
Okay.
eHarmony is a 9.8, Elite Singles 9.7, Silver Singles 9.4, Our Time 9.3, Stir, STIR, Black People Meet, Match, and Christian Mingle. So they are still out there.
Not the
I just,
Christian Mingle.
yes, it is. And Christian Mingle got, wait a minute, let me see what score they have.
Y'all may
8.6.
get some freaks with the Christian
So
mingle.
You are.
I googled the top dating sites as of July 2023. So
Okay. All right then.
Mm.
Diva Star, you got your hand up. You don't know your name, Diva Star? Marlena, your hand is up.
Yes. Well, I mean, I met my major relationships off of dating apps, so I believe in dating apps. I think Tinder is number one, Bumble, Upward, all those for my generation. So I can speak for what I
When you
know.
say your generation are you speaking of your age?
Yes.
So no, the reason why I asked, because when a person, well, I've been taking a little survey, and when I surveyed, they said that when you meet a woman on Tinder, she's more of a hook or crook more than an individual that you're trying to really take home to your parents. So I don't know about Tinder, but that's what a young man told me just yesterday. So
Oh, that's weird.
yeah, they said Tinder was for the hook crooks. That's what I was told. All right.
Dr. Fab, what's a
Yeah,
hooking?
that's that hookup, sexual hookup site.
Yes,
That's
sexual
what
hookup.
yeah.
They're gonna give you a little tutor for a little moolah moolah. So,
So what
and
about Black People Meet? Is that still, do
Wait,
people
what site
still
was
go
that
in
again?
there?
I'm on it.
Tinder.
Black People Meet?
yes, that's an 8.9.
What about
Okay.
Black Planet?
Nah.
Black Planet was
It's
doing
not on there.
MySpace
Nah.
time. That's MySpace
That's
time,
old.
girl.
That's old.
That's way back in the hey day. I know about that one.
That's like
Okay.
POS.
Oh, POS, that was garbage.
Black Planet.
Hey, so we've heard from the men, now ladies, and I'm going to say mature ladies. If you're over 30, this question is for you. Do you feel that when you meet someone online, is that person the person that you really think you can get serious with enough to even walk down the aisle or jump the broom with the individual? That's my question to all the ladies that's over the age of 30. If you ever met someone on the dating site, I see I have one yes in our chat. Anyone else, any other lady on here that think that they would meet a man online and marry them? Okay, all right. Miss Brooks, can you hear me, Miss Brooks?
Hey,
Okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
You can hear me. So, Miss Brooks, the question to you is, have you ever met anyone online that you felt that was going to be something serious, and then the tables turned? The person wasn't who he said he was going to be,
Yeah,
or who you thought he was?
that
I'm
would be
sorry.
that would be my second husband.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
met him, you married him, and voila, it was not the real deal. Okay.
It was
All
not the real deal. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. So, distinguished gentlemen, did you want to share anything else? Because I'm going to move it right on along to our one and only Special K.
Okay, thank you. So with the online date, and basically I had two questions would like to ask. What would be your top three questions that you would ask someone that you met online during that initial talking stage? Like when you get hit up or you hit someone up and you guys are, just exchanging, I'm sure, name and things like that. But what would be your top three? So for me, I just wanted to share. My first one is definitely, are you married? Are you in a situationship? Are you currently dating anyone, or are you actually single? Because I want to know that. And that's important because you have people on there that are looking for just hookups. You have married people on there. So a
He lying.
situationship is a lot what a lot of people are in. They want to say that they're single, but they still living in the household with their children's mom or
Oh,
Yeah,
ex-husband, or
that's
these
where
are
you have
all
to
situationships.
you have to define how do you define single? So you just because they mark single, my question is how do you define single? Because we may
Well, I
have
tell
different
you what.
definitions for single.
What do you mean,
Listen,
how do you
Sandy, I want to put a
define
little
single?
action to this. I would like to see a little role play. Papa Docs, can you hear me? Papa Docs, can you hear me? Okay, well, I guess Papa Docs can't hear me. Sir A, up to the top, Sir A. I want you to role play like you picked up. You just met Sandy on the Black dating app. I think it's BLK Black dating app. Show me how you would communicate or what you would ask and what she would ask you. So I'm gonna let you all do a little role play for meeting for the very first time on this dating app. You got me? Do Surrey know I'm talking to him? Alan?
Are you talking to me? Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. So would you role play for me? You all just met on the dating app Black, BLK. So Sandy, do you want to start or do you
Oh, I'll
want
start.
okay, well
Start.
go ahead, Al. Sandy.
But well, I guess we chat now. I guess I'll be
Y'all
texting us at this
chatting
point.
for the very first
Yeah,
time you all are chatting.
right. Well, outside of having good taste because we matched, how's this dating app treating you so far?
It's going fine. It's hit or miss. More miss than hit.
More misses than hits, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's a different age right now. So, but why are you here? Why are you out here trying to match with people? What
Well,
you looking for?
well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, look, I'm looking for a wife, but I will say the the dating online is different because when women see me, the first thing they see is my motorcycle or my car, and then as soon as they see that, then they think, oh, he got money,
Mm.
everything. So it's a different approach, I mean, like online and everything. And then also with being online, they see where I work at, or who I work, who I work for and everything like that. Then they just automatically think, okay, oh, he has something, it's not like that and everything. So at that point, when the conversation goes that way, I don't know what they really want.
Well, I
So
ain't see your bike, and I don't know where you work, but we matched, and so I'm gonna take it there. Now, your profile says you're single. Are you single? Single, like define your single. What does single
I'm
look
single.
like in mean to you?
I'm single like the number one.
Like for how long have you been single like this number one?
I've been single for 8 years.
For 8 years.
Yes.
8 years. Wow. Okay.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. Now, does anybody else know that you single? Like you dating, because a person be single, but somebody think they in a relationship with them.
Nah.
And see, those are those
But
situationships right there.
right,
Right.
true.
She
But now,
think we in a relationship, but I said we ain't.
no. But see, now that I'm, older and much mature, I'm straight up. But I do find that, that a lot of women, don't like the truth, you know.
Mm.
So like I could say like I've met a few women and stuff like that, and they didn't like the fact that me and my kids' moms are friends.
Mm.
You know, and they was like, okay. And I said, well, like I told her, I said, well, whether I talk to you or not, it's still my kid's mom. It don't change.
So you
Yeah.
said kids. How old are your kids?
My kids are grown. My youngest is 19.
You said it like you had some babies. Go ahead.
My youngest is 19, and my oldest would have been 35, but he passed away.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But I have 10 kids.
You got 10 kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did he say 10?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say, damn.
So
Okay.
he is,
I was like, oh, wow. Damn.
that's what you call single and
Is
complicated.
Yeah.
So that was going to be my next question. With the question I was asking when I asked about my first top three was definitely the are you married, the currently dating anyone. My second question is definitely how many children do you have and their ages, because that's a big determining factor right there if I'm going to even go further. And then my last one was, are you looking for your intentions? Are you looking for a committed relationship, a friendship, or just to have fun?
Okay. So, ladies, when he said that he had 10 kids, but all the children are adults, does that hold any questionable doubt in your head, Sandy? Even though they're adult children and they're not living with him, is there, when you meet someone, is there a
And
children?
the fact that they're adults, that doesn't bother me. You know,
Okay.
if they were kids, whew,
Did you
child.
almost say baby kids? Did you almost?
I said, damn.
Sir A, I have a question. So my question to you is, how many baby mamas do you have?
4.
4 baby mamas and 10 children. So who has the most children from you?
My one kid's
But if
mom. She had
First one?
He said
5.
his one kid's mom. You know that's not an answer.
Well, no, well, I mean, y'all don't know him, so I mean, so
exactly, it wouldn't make a difference. But
right.
if he's saying he has 4 baby moms, and whether you divide them up by however many he has 4 individuals that's in his life, that's going to be in his life until eternity, because his children and the baby's moms are still going to be there. So whether you can accept those 4 baby
they're
moms,
grown. I accept that, but my question to him is, who has the most? Because I'm going somewhere with this.
Oh, okay. So if he said letter
feeling you,
A
Lady
had
T.
4,
Mhm.
so break
He
them up
didn't
in
say
letter
that. He
A,
didn't
B,
say
and
that.
C.
The way he answered was, she asked him, which one of the 4 women have the most children by you? He said, my one baby's mom.
Right. But I said that because none of y'all know him. That's why.
I know.
It doesn't matter. I just said which one, the first, second, third, or fourth.
Yeah,
That's
the second mother has the most kids. The first mother has the most kids. The fourth, like you can say it that way.
Okay, so the 4th has the most.
Okay.
Okay, so were you in love with the 4th baby mother? Is it something that was like special with her?
No, because when I was with her, you know, I was running the streets. You know, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm an ex-cop. So when
I feel you on that.
So when I was dealing, I was ripping and running. So, you know, so I got 5 with 1, 3 with 1, 1 and 1.
Oh, okay. Well, you fertile like me, Sir A.
So
You want Myrtle and Fertile Dave. So
do
there
I
you
want for kids?
Yeah.
I mean, if I got married and my wife wanted one, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not against it. I love being a dad. You know what I mean? So and more than being a dad, I love being a pop-pop. I got 18 grandkids.
Ask me if I want some kids. Ask somebody ask me if I want kids.
Damn.
So in that situation, and that's why to me that question matters, because the woman going into that even though his kids are grown, now he's revealing he has 18 grand, because like it just depends on what you want. Do you want to go into a situation to have that many other people you know, in that situation. I mean, I think that's everybody's preference, but I do believe that
to come
I
before
believe
you.
that's a very valid question though, to want to know that, because that's a lot. But
that's
to
a
each his
valid
own.
question, but men do it all the time. They go into relationships with women with 5 kids, 4 kids, whatever. So on that side of the fence, it's not, I don't think that's a factor. What's a factor is you have a child or children with this one special woman. Like he said, he has 10 children, but it's this one who you have 5 with, you said?
4.
4?
5.
4 or 5?
5,
with,
and
one is 5, a 3, and a 1.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
in the end, we got
that
good
does not
listening
equal
skills
10
there.
unless another 1 and a 1 and a 1. Yeah.
the bottom line is, obviously the one with the most children, he had something special with.
But
I
disagree with he did not. He said he did not. The last one, he said he did not. He said, were you in love with her? He said, no, I was running the streets. That's what he said.
Well, I'll be
because
honest.
anybody that you meet that has kids, he could have just had 5 kids by one woman, could have been his ex-wife, and that was it. He could have at one time been madly in love. People grow apart, relationships break up. So I wouldn't look at the amount of kids that he has with one woman having a significant meaning to anything. I don't think.
Well, sometimes you have to read between the line. It's not that, it's what type of relationship you have with that favorite one, with the most children.
Because he has more kids with one, that's his favorite one.
That's the one he spent more time with.
No, not necessarily. You had twins?
No.
I do.
Okay, Sir A, why don't you break it down for us, because we're debating here. So the one with the 5 children versus the one with the 1 each. What is so special about them?
All right. So my oldest son, the one that passed away, me and his mom, we were just friends with benefits. She was 6 years older than me. So I was in high school. She was out of school and stuff. So, and then.
Hey, tell them none of your business at this point in time.
Oh, Douglas, be quiet.
Like, no, it don't bother me. But, then my other son.
How many kids the woman got? How many she done parachuted out?
Can you let him finish, please, Douglas? Thank you.
Yes, please, Douglas.
And then, with my other kid's mom, I had 3. I had twins with her, set of twins, and one daughter. So I had all girls with her. And then Monica, I had 4 girls and my youngest son and stuff. But I will say this, meeting people online, like when they ask me how many kids, I've had a lot of women tell me I got too many kids. And it makes me snap, because I tell them I got just the right amount of kids. Like I feel like who the hell are you to tell me how many kids? I got too many kids. But if I find it different, because a man can meet a woman and she have kids, and a man to date her. But then
I agree.
A woman to meet a man, and because he has a lot of kids, then she sees a problem and everything. And I see that a lot.
Let me tell you why, Sir A, because child support. That's all I'm gonna say. They don't want to deal with their responsibility. You can't take care of them, so they assume you could be making $200,000 a year. It's none of their business. All they see are the children, which I don't think is fair. Money shouldn't be tied up around everything, but you do have to be able to provide.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But if I tell you I'm good and everything, then it should be no problem. But I think that a lot of women, that I've dated and stuff like that, look at me being able to spend on them and everything. And and that's true. Like I said, but like I told her, I said, first of all, my kids are grown. They live their own life. I've had women ask me, well, what do you think your kids would think? And like I tell them, I don't live my life for my kids. I live my life for myself.
Amen.
Okay. Yeah. Because my kids are doing their thing.
Their thing.
So I'm doing my thing and everything, you know. So that's where I'm at with it, you know.
Well, you are definitely going to find love, right, Dr. Fab?
Exactly, because what I was getting ready to say is you can find a woman who only had or bared one child that will be so excited to be a part of your family with your 10 children and your, did you say 14 or 18 grandkids? Because some people, you never know. That's why you say you have to communicate, you have to talk to see if there is a definite match. And we thank you so much for sharing that, Sir A. And we're going
Anybody asked me if I want to have no kids.
Oh, she wanted to know, did you ask her if she wanted to have some kids?
You want kids?
Hell no.
Okay. All right. Well,
You know what? Okay. So Angela, you had your hand up next, then from Angela Diva Star, and then over to Rich Boy Troy. Okay. Go ahead, Angela.
I think one of the most important things here is not the fact that he has 10 kids. It's, was he an active father with the children? Was he an active provider for the children? I think that's more important of who you got him with, how many you got him with, and the relationship with the kid's mom. Because my thing is, if he does not have a relationship with these moms, that should be a red flag. That should be a concern, because he has to help raise and provide for these kids. So why would you not want him to have a relationship with these women? And it doesn't make it make sense to me. 10
Well, when
kids,
he came
fine.
on, Angela, when he came on, he did say the person that he was dating had a problem with him because he was friend with all 4 of his baby's mom. And he said he was a retired cop. So I'm assuming that his finances was good enough to support his families or across the board, everyone that was in his family. So I'm just speaking for Sir Angel. I said, Sir Angel, do you know that's my puppy dog? I meant to say Sir A. Okay.
Because you a puppy dog. Hey.
No.
Yeah,
Let me tell y'all the story behind my puppy dog, because he was killed by somebody, and I
Dr.
don't want to say
Fab,
their
let it
name.
go.
But
Let it
anyway,
go,
I won't
Dr.
deter
Fab.
off subject. I won't deter
Yeah,
off subject.
yeah, let it
right.
go.
And the last thing is that they, like he said, my kids are adults at this point. He has grandkids, so his life is gone in a different direction. He's ready to live life, settle down, find someone that's willing to be a part of that large family. So it wouldn't be a concern. Of course, it wouldn't be a concern to me. I have one child. That's enough for
And
me.
see, I just said that, Angela. I said it could be someone with that one child that wants a large family. It's nothing like going to a family reunion and it's happy and ooh, you got so many people just running around, little toddler feet.
It's the
All
whole
of that
pot
good
of
stuff.
love, a pot of love that never ends. It just
That's
keeps
it.
coming and coming, and that's what you want. You love them and they love on you, and happy family, and life goes on, and that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Angela. Diva Star, you had your hand up.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say, like, I think, you know what, kids are a beautiful thing. Kids are a blessing. But somebody like me, I don't have any kids. So I know when I pursue people, I don't want them in with kids, really. I feel like 4 is too much. And I say that up front, so I don't waste anybody's time.
So do you think that you're being selfish when it comes to that? Because I'm not sure of your age, but this day and time, because you don't have kids, that doesn't mean that everyone else is going to walk around on the face of the earth and not procreate. So when you meet someone and they have kids, you have to accept their kids. But you said if that's not what you want, then that means you're not a match, because you would dare not go into a relationship with someone that has kids and like the person and not accept their children, because I'm sure it comes as a set, a group formation. Okay. So always remember that, Diva Star. If you meet someone, you like them, but they have kids, keep it moving, because For one, you said you didn't want anyone with kids.
No.
You got that? So you're on the right page. All you got to do is make it clear. Okay, well, I thought you were a very nice person, but you got children, and that's not what I want. Because some women, and I'm going to say this, I might get all kind of daggers in my back. Some women will meet men and they like the man, and the man have kids, and they don't want to be bothered. But if it's a good dad, that good dad is going to say, okay, well, if you love me, you're going to have to love on my children as well. So I'm
That's
just
right.
saying, ladies, for those
Full
of you
package.
who don't want a
Dr.
man with
Fab,
children,
she has that right. She has that right, Dr.
she
Fab.
has that right. But I want
I
to
do.
make it clear, because I know a situation where a person has gone through a divorce because she had children and the man loved her but did not want her children. And so she was like, it doesn't come like that. We come as a package deal. And so now she's a single mom because he didn't want that package. Is there anything else, Diva Star, you would like to share with us?
Well, at least
That
you didn't kill the
it's
baby.
still a good handful. There's still a couple guys out here that don't have kids.
Okay.
So
And
I
that's
have
why I'm telling you, if that's your prerequisite, you break and make that conversation plain. Do
I
you
do.
have children? Do
Yep.
you have any that you don't know
21
about, but you
questions,
might
Diva.
have some?
No.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. What was that?
I said 21 questions. You just lay it all out there right in the beginning,
That's
whether
right.
they like you or not.
Okay. Well, you can take Lady T's advice, but rest assured, if you find a man and he got kids, don't try to love on him and not his kids, because that definitely won't work. So, Rich Boy Troy, how are you this evening?
Pray.
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And you had your hand up.
Yes, ma'am. So I had my hand up because I had a few things to say. I kind of joined late, but I took some notes while you guys were talking, so I just kind of want to skim through that real quick.
Okay.
So some of the top dating sites I believe are like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and those
Mhm.
social media accounts, rather than the actual dating sites. Um, and I do feel like people on social media and dating sites will portray themselves in the best light. So just looking at their profile and stuff like that, you're not going to really get the gist of what they're about, because they're only going to take the best of them and put it on like, oh, when I'm losing weight, oh, I just got a new job, oh, all this good stuff has happened to me, but they're not going to really, put all the bad stuff on there. So if I was looking for somebody on social media, right, I would look at their likes, I would look at their comments, and even some of the people in their pictures, and I would kind of skim through that and see like, okay, how many people are liking your pictures? Why are you so popular? Why are these people so comfortable saying, oh, you look really sexy today, or this and that and that and this? And then it also goes back to let's say dating website like Tinder or Christian Mingle, whatnot. People are they are now allowing people to put their social media on that platform. So okay, you might talk to this person and immediately they go at you. They'll be like, oh, you're cute. Then they add you on these on your social media. And now you just found somebody, that you like, you guys connect. But on their social media, they have a plethora of people that they've also met on, Tinder and all this kind of stuff. So I don't think you would really be comfortable with just getting to actually just having a profile or getting to know somebody on these kind of websites, because it allows easy access to their personal profiles like Facebook and Snapchat. So like, you guys might be going good for a few months and might have, reach a disagreement, or you guys might, whatever the case may be. And it's easy for them to say, you know what, I have a backup. And then I have a backup for that backup. And then I got all these other people that I can go to. And also, whatever they do in the background, they can easily just swipe left and delete the chat, and you will never know what's going on behind your back. So, and also some things I want to mention. If you're gonna look into somebody, look up their criminal records. You can, I mean, there's apps and there's websites where you can put people's, names in, and some of it is public. If they've been arrested in a certain place, it'll pop up and it'll show you like what they were arrested for. Um, I mean, you can ask like how many relationships they've been in, if they're financially stable, if they have any financial responsibilities like child support. Are they behind on it? Have they ever been arrested because they did not, pay it, or are they up to date on it or whatnot? Or, do you feel that if you were behind on it and we're in a relationship that I would have to give you the money so that your kids can eat, you know? Then let's see. Yeah, so that's what. And then from that one person, I don't know, I forgot what he was. His name was, but he was saying that a lot of females, that he attracted, like, kind of want to talk to him because of his money. But I feel like maybe that's what you portray. Like if you put a motorcycle, in your big house in your background on Facebook, or you're holding money up, or you have a lot of jewelry on, and you have all this, those females are going to be attracted to that. They're going to be like, you know what, this man has money, and he can probably get me out the situation I'm in. Or they're expecting for you to pay for that date, or they're expecting you, to pick up their slack. So if you don't want them to have that expectation, then don't put that out there.
Well, no, I disagree with that. That's like saying that when a woman, when she's showing pictures of her ass and her chest and everything, then someone thinking that she a whore. So you can't say that and everything. I mean, if I'm driving and I see a woman and everything, and she catch my eye and everything, I mean, look, I'm supposed to just hop out the car and not let her see that. No, I'm, if I'm on my bike or whatever, then I mean, I stop and talk. It's
Oh,
either,
that's the
yeah,
reality of it. That's the reality. So what you put out is what you're gonna get. So if a woman is walking down the street with shorts on and a bra or whatever, that's what, and there's no pool around, you know, what are you supposed to think? So if they see you with all this flashy stuff and you're like, I'm looking for somebody, I got money, then that's what you're pulling in. Like, what else are you showing besides that? What else on your social media besides your bike and all this can you bring to that relationship? Or you saying like, hey, besides my money, this is what I can offer. This is some good qualities about me, so that they can look at that and say, then I want to pursue you, rather than saying, oh, you got all this nice fancy stuff. Maybe that's why I want to go, because you got it. You have your stuff together.
yeah, but the average chick,
Perception is reality.
well, look,
Perception is what you give off when they see you. That is what they want.
well, look, well, I mean, like
I
I said,
totally agree, Rich Boy, because you have leeches out there that's all about the dollar bill.
Go diggers, go diggers.
That's right.
look, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, but look, I like nice stuff and everything. I work hard. I feel as though, I mean, so what I have is what I have. I mean, but yeah, but I think that person needs to get to know you, to find out,
They
how
do.
and
They
everything.
do.
Right.
You did. They do know you. They know you for what you have and
No,
what you
they
put.
no,
And
no, they know me for what they see. They don't know me for what I have and everything. I mean, it's like you don't know. I mean, like I got a buddy of mine, got a Maserati, but it's in his mother's name. So you can't sit there and say that.
That's true.
you
All
know,
right. Well, thank you all for
I
sharing.
really,
Sandy, you got your hand up. Sandy, your hand is up. Okay, Sandy must have stepped away. We're going to turn it over to Dr. Feelgood. Are you here with us, Dr. Feelgood?
Yes, I am.
All right. Go ahead, Dr. Feelgood.
Well, I've been out of the dating site game for a minute, but back in the day, my go-to was Plenty of Fish and Hinge. Well, both had its ups, both had its downs. But the thing is, though, is that you have to look at situations where it goes back to what Distinguished Brother was talking about with safety and being in and keeping yourself in a situation. If you're a guy, you still have to worry about safety because guys get stupid and start thinking with their phallus and wind up giving their address up, and the next thing you know, goons be running up in your spot talking about what time it is. So guys have to be safe also, because as much as we know that women are made of sugar and spice and everything nice, some of them spices be spicy and will have you out there choking. It's one of the things that we look at. The biggest issue with online dating is that it is, you basically, male or female, especially male, you have to sell yourselves. If you are not, if your profile, and it goes back to what the young man was saying about, Facebook, Snapchat, and all the other socials, if your profile is not looking good as a guy, you're not going to get too many swipes. And the way most of the sites are set up, 5% of guys get about 90% of swipes from women, because women seem to want not the same guy, the same type of guy, and they're usually the dudes in there standing next to a Maserati with their shirt off, with their six-pack, with a scale saying that they're 6'3", they got 3 feet, left foot, right foot, and 12 inches. And I read poetry. That gets a lot of swipe. And of course, Diva, women, they can look like a Quasimodo's sister, and they'll get more swipes than the average guy. That's just it.
I'm not going to agree to that, because most men are very visual, and when they see an unattractive woman, you're trying to tell me they slow down and pause and take a look. I don't believe that's true.
Yes,
no. That's true.
However,
he said that the woman looked like Quasimodo's sister.
I back him 100% because there are men out there.
You gotta think about this. This is a stat, and you can look this up.
Okay. No. I got it. I got where you're coming from now. Because of her insecurities, if she's unattractive, they're gonna get on top of that, because they feel because she's unattractive, she's gonna be insecure. Her self-esteem is going to be low, and they probably can take advantage of her. I'm gonna say that. That's my analogy.
No. Back to what I was saying earlier when I got cut off earlier, is that women are going to get more attention than men, regardless of how they look. It's the same in regular dating as it is on online dating. That's what I was saying earlier. That women are going to get more attention than men anyway.
Right. There's a stat out there that 1 out of 3 men under 30 have not had intercourse in a year or are virgins.
Well, my question is, so you're saying that even if she's unattractive, because I know you swipe left or right or whatever, I want all men on the panel right now to put a true if you have done it. And for what reason did you do it? Because I asked someone about a dating app. I said, well, do you think the dating app should be where you get a chance to know the person first, and then you get a part picture of how the individual is going to look? They said no, because if I talk to her, get to know her, and then she shows up, and Dr. Feelgood said Quasimodo, whatever that is, and she looks like that, I don't care how intelligent she is, I don't care how good our conversation was, it's not going to be a go, because what? people, men are looking at the exterior opposed to
Now,
getting to know the interior.
But Doc, let me cut you off real quick. But see, with men, see if the chick doesn't look that good, you know, quote unquote, looking like Quasimodo, if she's going to give the guy some, that dude's going to take it.
But that's why I'm saying they're going after her because of her self-esteem.
Not even
Because if you find a lady,
available. We had a saying back when I was in college.
Easy access. No.
I'm saying no.
So all the men are saying that because of the looks, it's easy access.
No. Listen. This is. I'm telling you. This is how the majority of men think. Back when I was in college, we used to have what's called a 158 chick.
What's a 158 chick? Break it down for
what time?
Because I don't know.
What time do clubs usually close?
2 o'clock.
158. Before the lights come on, you looking for somebody to go home with. You ain't gotta like them. You got some alcohol in you, and they ain't forever. They just for the night, and then you ain't speak to them again. So and this was pre-internet. So imagine that. I'm a dude in lovely Hinesville. I'm visiting Hinesville. I'm visiting Stewart. I'm visiting Stewart from Fort Belvoir, and I look at a woman, and I mean she has an above average face, but she's about 5'2", 350. You know,
you're wrong for that.
And I'm giving you the scenario.
He giving you the crop that's left over.
Yeah, and we match on. I'm just gonna make up a site. We match on iwannahump-a-lot.com. So I'm saying, you know, late at night I'm hitting her up. I ain't asking for milk and cookies. Maybe cookie, but not milk and cookies. So she knows what time it is, and I'm going to and I'm aroused, and I'm just ready to any old port in the storm. I do what I do. We go our separate ways. Never to be spoken again. That happens more often than you think, and that's why going to what Anson was telling you, women even out in real life, online, women get a lot more attention than guys, because 70% of guys are invisible to women. They're in your friend zone. Dude could be handsome as just saying handsome as Idris Elba. But if he's 5'2", how much play you think he getting?
Yeah. And then you got to also realize when a man does that, it's just a notch under his belt. You know, everything. He ain't telling his homies that he did it.
Exactly.
He not gonna say that and everything. Exactly. Him and her and everything.
Because she ain't telling her homies either.
And he won't. And you know, and y'all know a friend. If y'all know a friend, all y'all women know a friend that is a midnight marauder. Dudes don't call her.
What's a midnight marauder?
Dudes don't call her till after 11.
So y'all act like y'all don't know much of nothing around this.
Don't
Y'all
call
know
her
what
after
this
11.
man
It's called a
means.
booty call. A booty call.
Booty calls.
Just like
And
What this
sometimes it's a
man
booty call. You
means.
can't. You don't have no connection with him outside of the bedroom, but in the bedroom he popping.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
put him
That's
on.
it.
Go
That's
ahead,
all.
Cassie.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, Dr. Feelgood. I understand that. But that was the same thing almost as what I was saying. You check her out on the dating site because you have a lot of women that's on the dating site that's been through bad relationships and their self-esteem is at the bottom of the barrel. And then you find a smooth talker like Dr. Feelgood with that voice that's gonna mesmerize them. And then you get them in the sack, and then you don't call them anymore. So that's what I'm saying.
Most of the guys that do that, and y'all women are smart. A lot of women understand that if there's a guy talking to them that's looking good, sounding good, smelling good, and he ain't talking about taking you out at noon for lunch, you have an idea, and you know that's gonna happen. It's just women like to hear soothing words, and they sound better when attached to an attractive man.
But check this out now. You said that you were here in the city country. I'm sorry, y'all. I had a little scratch in my throat. I had to put a little lifesaver or whatever. But nevertheless, you said here in the city country of Hinesville, you got a woman that's 5'2". She's 350 pounds. Well, baby, I see that all day long with these wonderful, handsome soldiers. And I'm looking like, oh my God.
Look,
She must be extremely nice.
Notice the operative term you used, soldier. Soldiers are famous, and me being a former soldier, look, when you living in the barracks, that you become what we call a hobosexual.
What is that? Tell me what that is.
A hobo. Meaning you find it somewhere the state that's not in the barracks, and you just get hurt.
Any and anything.
Yeah, you just.
No, I'm telling you, these women are walking around with Rock of Zions on their finger. Lady T can attest. We went to the Fort Stewart concert, and it was some men that looked like, oh my God, like a tall glass of chocolate milk. And the person they was with, you're like, well, what did we find?
Either they got a sugar mama or she throwing down.
Exactly.
Or benefit depends on when they got married, when they went to the military.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it don't matter because they with them, regardless of what we think.
That's
they
what
got
I'm
them.
saying. So I never, when you see a person, you can't say, well, this person and that person, they're not the perfect match, because it's something between them, because they're together. And
that's right, married. Opposite attract.
Yeah, and I'm saying
there's
they're
somebody for everybody.
It was that 150, would you say that 158 program? Because these apparently are married with children, the whole little family walking through the park, and you're looking like, wow, okay.
Well,
you do a double take.
There's a whole nother story behind that one, and that we can dedicate a whole show to that.
2 or 3 shows to that one.
Then the thing is though is that, okay, for example, the women you said you see that they make Mama June look skinny, and they weren't always. Wait
a minute, Dr. Feel Good. Why does it have to be about weight? Because you have some pretty heavy set women, and you have some handsome. But wait a minute.
Listen, lady.
It's your flavor, whatever you want. It's your flavor. You can have a nice relationship.
Listen.
Go ahead, get him, girl.
Listen.
That's right, because baby, I told mine well.
Only reason I use weight because a lot of women are cute in the face. Guys want relatively fit women. If you're cute in the face, that adds points. But the weight is the hardest one, and a lot of them they'll get married. They'll be thick when they marry. Before they get married, they push out a couple of kids, stop exercising, start eating. And next thing you know,
I'm sorry. It's the confidence. I'm about to come at him. Let me get him.
Dude, I knew you were opening yourself up. I wanted to stop you.
Oh no, I ain't working on that. I'm lying.
Let me tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. And then you're speaking from your perspective, what you like. You saying what you like, and if you like a fit woman and all that other stuff, then that's fine. I'm gonna say it's a woman's self-esteem. So you mentioned when a woman gets married, has kids. Sorry.
Get something to drink.
Hold on. Don't get him before you get got. And then she turned the jog up. Come on, Sandy, that's my girl.
But let me say, so a woman has kids and her body goes out of shape. It's the confidence level. Because 9 times out of 10, she's hearing a man in her ear talking about how she's not who she used to be, which drains her confidence. Okay. So there's a lot of women, plus size, small size, when they have that confidence in them, that really attracts a lot of men. I was friends with two twins. They're plus size twins. One of them, she pulls men every time we went out, every time. It was because of her damn personality. And she was stylish. But her identical twin didn't pull nobody because her energy said insecure. She acted, and her energy acted, everything about her was still insecure. And she was not confident in herself. So it's a confidence. When women are around these men, and he's slowly eating at you and telling you you ain't this and that, you ain't this. Now you start to doubt yourself. Now you're not believing in yourself. So now you're lacking that confidence. Okay, because you have someone that's constantly tearing you down, talking about what they don't like about you. And then if you want to play that we don't like, we can talk about the dick game. We can talk about this is about you. We can talk, but we don't go. Usually, we don't come back like that.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
Disagree, but okay.
but the thing is,
Don't even. That's
disagree.
I call purple Yankee cap. Because y'all, hey, the minute y'all get mad, the minute a woman gets mad, and this is not, it's a generality, it's not every woman. And there's something about you they don't like, you're going to hear about it. Look at you with your little penny self, your little stubby. That's why they call you stubby, because you're little. And the other thing,
what she's doing, she's telling you the things that like, there's a lot of things we don't like about a person. You may be in love with him, but I don't like this, but he does this. But I deal with it because he has these qualities that I like. But if you're constantly magnifying the qualities you don't like about her, that's just.
And here's another thing, Sandy. And we're not arguing. We're just.
Yeah, I'm not arguing.
We're talking past each other.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing,
it's online dating, Dr. Feelgood.
Same thing that women don't like about men, and say, okay, I'll get up with that. Men have women, but we don't. Guys who are insecure about themselves attack women like that. Try to lose their confidence because they want to be on top of them. A man who's secure, if he loves his woman and he's protecting her and he's providing for her and he's solving her problems, he's gonna love her. He's gonna love her. Now, he ain't gonna come up and say, Trick, you fat, go work out. That's not respectful.
Dr. Trick, did you say Trick?
I was going to use the B word, but I'm trying to be
Trick.
Yeah.
No, they do it in more subtle ways. You know, don't you think you want to go to the gym? Don't you think you want to? Don't you really gonna have that extra piece of tooth?
And that's true. Some guys will say that, but a lot of times they'll say, baby, I've noticed you put on a little weight. Let us go to the gym and work out together. And then you know what happens after that? Oh, so you think I'm fat? You think I'm fat? Automatic defense. A guy's telling you, oh, babe,
you asked me to tell you the truth, so I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah. So it's not, and like I said, you are 100% right, but there's always context behind that. A lot of times, you know, people do things, they'll knock people's confidence down. That's true. That goes both ways. However,
it's called abuse.
It's abuse.
Yeah, so it's bi-directional. It's not unidirectional. What I'm saying is that yes, people have preferences. Everybody has a preference, but in the general, just like women don't generally date shorter than them, guys, not a majority of guys want a woman that's height weight proportional. That's all I'll say about that.
But you know,
I'm like Danny, I want to midget.
No, Dr. Feelgood, I hear you, but it all depends on the individual. And when it comes to height, if you love that person, even if you're with this person and they're not performing up to your expectations, it's the way in which you say stuff to individuals. Even if your wife or a girlfriend has gained 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, it's the way in which you say it to her. Even if your
Should have
man is
grabbed
not,
her before she got that much sandwich.
I know, but wait, it's even if the man is not performing to your liking, you're not going to make him think that he is, but it's the way in which you present it to him. Babe, can you slow down just a little bit? Babe, can you hold me a little tighter? You know, it's all in the presentation of everything that you do. And when you meet someone online, that's become online dating. Is very tricky because I'm bringing it back to top because Anson say, now what is this about? It's about online dating. But when online dating really get there, it's called communicating dating. Because if you don't communicate to that individual, you're not going to see if you're truly a match, even down to when you actually meet them one on one.
I got that. And online dating, and going back to online dating, and what Anson was saying is that, you know, it's kind of goes both ways, but a lot of times both men and women decide that, and we had a show about this early last year. We were talking about catfishing. If I'm putting my prom photo in there, or, you know, a photo of 10 years ago, and I done gained a couple of tons, you know, I can talk, I can chat with you, and I can take a picture from my neck up and you won't know the difference. And then when you see me in person, we finally meet in person, I'm looking like, you know, I'm looking like Mr. Blob.
No, but even if you take a headshot and if you gain that amount of weight from 10 years ago, oh, they can see it in your face. What I'm telling you is, and I don't know why men, women, boys, and girls do this, put up pictures if they know they're going to meet the individual. Put up your current picture. Give a person something current, because when they meet you, either they're going to like you or they're not. And that's why you can't sell yourself online. You're going to sell yourself when you meet them. And if it's about selling yourself, you got to give what? Top product. So all that, oh, this is me 10 years ago. People want to see the here and the now.
I agree. Okay. I agree. What I'm showing here is just a quick Pew research talking about single Americans, and with, you know, this goes into online dating. 40% of people are meeting online, and 30% are meeting face to face. These are the demographics of the people. I know it's a little small, but y'all gotta live with it. As you can see, adults, 47% of African Americans are considered single. And when I mean single, that means unmarried. That means unmarried. That doesn't mean engaged, divorced, single, widowed, single. That's what that means. And we talked about that. We talked about that earlier. Situationship, technically, according to Keke Palmer, you're still single. But and it shows the ages of people. People in my age group, 50 to 64, 28% are single. And among men, as you can look from 18 to 29, more than half are single. And think about that. One third of that number, at least, out of 51%, about 25% of that 50, you know, that 51% are sexless or they're virgins. So it's hard being a guy. You know, we talk about men and dogs. It's only a low percentage of men that are talking to those low self-esteem women, talking to those average and above average women, talking to those cute women and getting those women, and they ain't committing to nobody. But those are those things. And women, as you can see, the numbers are lower. There are fewer women single, except when you get to 65. Why do you think that is? Anybody?
Men die.
Men die earlier, exactly. Exactly.
And then women's priorities change as they get older anyway. As they get older and they become nanas and great grandmas, you know, and the husband done went on to glory. Dating is not the number one thing on their mind because they're trying, you know, they're
Now
trying to.
that's not true, baby, because you're talking about Dr. Fabulous right there, because I'm a
Number
super
one thing on
nana
your mind, Dr.
and
Fab.
I'm a widower. And listen, anywho,
Is that the number one thing on your mind, Dr. Fab?
what the number one thing about Dr.
your
Fab, you know,
mind.
I can't say it because my cousin gonna say that's all she think about, but I'm not going to say it. He already knows.
All right.
Da, da, da.
It's
But
a dollar bill, y'all.
but I'm done. My time is up. I'm passing it back to you, Dr. Fab.
All right, and we have, last but not least, we have Sir Action Jackson. Come on, Action Jackson. Give them what you
Good
got.
night. Well, I have a couple of questions, but since time is of the essence, I'm gonna go to the most serious one. So this is for you, Dr. Fabulous, right?
It's
Would
for
you
me?
date? Yes.
Oh, okay.
Since you're a big fan of Chris Brown and you know you love Chris Brown as your ideal guy, right? So imagine the situation. Yeah, imagine the situation. You meet a guy online, look like Chris Brown. You fall in love with a guy, right? He lied on his profile that he's single. After falling in love with
Listen, stop right now. Because if he looked like Chris Brown and he was on the dating app, I know it'd be a fakery. So I wouldn't even deal with him.
Okay. All right, forget Chris Brown then.
Okay.
So this situation, you meet a guy online, you fall in love with a guy, right? Great personality, you have great chemistry. He say he's single.
Mm-hmm.
After y'all been on a couple of days, been intimate, you realize he's married. Do you continue the relationship?
No, you realize he tell you he bipolar during sex.
Okay, listen. Okay. So let's first start off with, you said, I'm going to meet in, I'm going to fall. Now, how long have we been together? Because you made it seem like we met
6 months.
for 1
6
week
months.
and the next week we had sex.
6 months. No, 6 months. I mean, 6 months. Okay, y'all been on dates, you know, y'all make it work.
But see, I would probably know whether or not he was married, because I'm not just that kind of woman that's going to date him from my house only. I got to be able to go to his home.
What if he has multiple
He got
houses?
he got that side condo.
He got that side condo, or he got an open marriage.
Yes. He got
I don't want to play no parts of that, because I'm a little selfish when it comes to
you end the relationship then?
Oh, but I don't. Yes, I would end the relationship. I definitely would, because you know what? The same way he's living it up with me, he would do it with someone else.
Exactly.
And when he
agree,
but the chemistry with you is different.
I don't give a dang how good the chemistry is. He better go to science class with Dr. Fabulous, because the same way he does with you, he'll do with someone else. And that's just, that's what I got to say about that.
You know what it is? These men, you guys don't understand. When y'all have sex with all these multiple women, and they say you have unprotected sex, there's HPV. HPV, when I hear a woman that died of cervical cancer and HPV, it's because this man she's having sex with, he's having unprotected sex with other women, and her bacteria, her things does not mesh with another woman's bacteria. And the thing is, when we get pap smears, it is never detected. It only is detected when we have an abnormal pap smear. And by that time, then they have to see, what is it, HPV. And a lot of women, they don't further get it checked until it's dysplasia. And when it's stage 4 dysplasia, that means it's cancer. You having sex with this one man, you think his penis is yours, and it's not. And even though he's not giving you no herpes or no AIDS, but that penis is carrying some bacteria and some other crap that is not going to agree with your body, no matter how much he washes it.
Well, if he's community CLCK, you know, that's something that you guys have to vet to make sure that they're not that way.
We can't make sure, because you got the voice. They say one thing, otherwise you just go. Charlie Murphy, rest in peace, his wife died before him. She died of cervical cancer. And I'm also automatically, I'm thinking that man was hoeing around.
Okay. That was
Y'all
deep.
better pull that skin back and wash it good.
That's
Ooh,
crazy.
now, Lady T, that was the core of the core. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, Lady T said you got to pull the skin back and wash it good. Now, Lady T, that makes you
Crazy.
go, All right. So, Action Jackson, do you have any other questions?
I have like two more questions. This for the
Okay.
woman. Do women fall in love with the profile pic or the personality online dating? Or what get their attention of a
Do
guy?
they let me go, let me reiterate. Fall in love with the profile picture
In love.
or
I can't believe you use that word love. Ain't
Just
nobody
so,
fall in love with no.
well, attract,
they become infatuated
infatuated,
with it.
or lust, or maybe use lust then.
Okay. So what are you saying? The woman will stop and talk or chit chat
Yeah.
because of
Or
the
is it the personality or the look? Which one they go for? Is the personality or the look of the?
Well, I think initially it's going to be the look because that's the first thing you're going to see, and you're going to go for what's attractive to you by the eye. So, that's probably going to stop you and make you, hey, stop on this profile and take a look at it. I would think it would be the look first. But the look doesn't always keep it. It's not going to keep it. I mean, I think ultimately the personality is what's going to drive it
your
further.
attention. Because you
Yeah.
can have a good looking guy that can't even hold
Right.
a conversation. You're like, oh, let me get rid of this dodo bird real quick.
But
Exactly. Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
be
Yeah.
100% real with you. If I'm going through profile pictures, I am going to stop at the ones that are attractive to me. And everybody's attractiveness is different. But physical attraction for a man or a woman is normally the first thing. And I think that's just human nature.
Yes, you don't see a personality walking down the street.
You don't. It's physical. And y'all can say what you want, but it is physical.
Yeah,
It's gonna
you're
be
right.
that first.
You're right. I agree. I could say not right, but I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody is agreeing to that.
Mhm.
That's another thing that makes you
But you know
go.
what? People like toxic. They say a lot of men like them toxic women. I'm because then they get the good, really structured woman, and they get bored.
I disagree with that one.
Or now listen, I think that
I would
sometimes
say the same as me.
men can't handle women that's well put together financially,
I
mentally,
disagree.
and all of that
Totally
good stuff
disagree.
because they have some underlying insecurities. And
Mm.
why I say this,
I ain't
when
got
I
you
time
would
for
meet
say
up,
that.
women too, Dr. Fab, because they
yeah, that
want
is true.
the thug, but they don't want the good person who can provide and love
Wait,
them,
but
how they should be.
listen. I hear what you're saying, but most of the time when you meet men, and I'm just talking from my experience, when they have a little cheddar, and I'm not saying little as in little amount, but when they have some cheddar, most of the time I've found them to be extremely arrogant. And when you're talking to someone and you're trying to build something, you can build from ground zero. Because when I met my husband, he was just, how can I say, just who he was. But when we got together and got married, he became the man. Because behind every good man, there's a good woman. And a woman can take, it's just like planting a seed. If you can plant that seed and fertilize it, you can make it grow into something. But when you meet that individual who thinks he has everything and that his food don't stink, that's a very, oh my God, that's an obnoxious person. I'd rather deal with a person that don't have anything than to deal with someone who's very obnoxious and think it's all about him. And as my cousin would say, what did he call him? God, I can't think of the name. But nevertheless, he is a person that you really, and sometimes women say they'll stay with them because they got something. No, 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 because that's when it's gonna get real ugly. So I'm getting okay, all right. Okay, so with that being said, Lady T is the last one up, and then we're gonna close it out because it's almost 10:30. Come on, Lady T.
Okay, let me be the hard knock. So I'm not in favor of the online dating because let me tell you this story really quick. When I first got a divorce, I registered at all the websites. Went on the dates, were not happy. Went on this one date. I mean, the picture of the guy was amazing. Like you said, I think our rich boy, the car, the money, the body, everything was on point. Oh my God. I get to the restaurant. I was waiting in the truck. This raggedy looking man come up, dusty sneakers, shorts, and a t-shirt. And I'm looking like, where is he going? And right then and there, I didn't even get out my truck. I said, you know what? Obviously, you and I are not compatible. And I just pulled off. And from that point on, I was like, forget it. I'm not doing this online dating. I'd rather flirt, in public. I'd rather meet you at the grocery store, at the post office, or whatever. But I refuse to have, myself registered on these websites because it's just all lies. And I think when you go out, fix yourself up, go to the grocery store, go to the laundromat, get your gas or whatever. I think you can meet
the laundromat.
At the laundromat. They can help fold clothes too. And I just believe you can go out and you can meet people in regular places, and you can have just as good of a conversation than sitting online swiping to the left.
I thought you swiped to the right.
Well, I'm not a fan, so left, right.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, she's not a fan of online dating, and I'm just, I'm looking. I listen, you all. The funny thing is, I could never see our group chat, and then my grandbaby showed me how to be able to look at you all plus see the group chat. So tonight I'm actually looking at the chat as we're going along. So when I'm seeing all the little funny comments, but beforehand I couldn't do it. But anyway, to make a long story short, because so many people have negatives about online dating, it behooves me to think, do you know where the most money lies now in the dating industry? Online dating. And that's the reason why I asked, does the men pay or does the women pay? Because I'm always trying to figure that thing out, because not ever would I think that I would pay to be on a dating site, but it must be something out there that's drawing the people in for them to make the conscious decision to pay for a dating site. And I thank all of you all for coming on. As Action Jackson says, it might have to be a part 2 to this to add more in depth and stories who have had positives. But don't blink, don't close your eyes, because when you look around, Upscale Love for You is going to have, guess what, you all? A dating app. So get ready, get ready, get ready.
You guys are on Google search, because I looked up dating thing and I saw upscale thing on my Googles. Yeah.
Yes. So it's in the making. So hopefully real soon we'll be in competition with POF, Black, all of that good stuff. But the only thing is, we're trying to make it where you won't get the bottom of the shoe, the bottom of the barrel. We're trying to get you some good folk. So with that being said, don't waste your time swiping to the left or swiping to the right, because it's going to be a new technology. We not going to swipe. Y'all going to wait and see, but it's going to be nice. It's in the making. And I would like to say, is there anything that Dr. Feelgood would like to say? Lady T, Special K, anyone, Action Jackson, anyone has anything to say before we sign off this evening? And if this is your first time, please don't let this be your last. and I'm going to kill my daughter because she know I don't like dogs. And I just seen her dog hit the corner of my room. So I'm going to put my picture up for right now to take care of this. But Dr. Feelgood, Lady T, please go for it.
Well, I want to thank everybody. You know, this is me, the DFG, the man with the golden voice. Just want to say thank you, everybody, for the spirited discussion. Personally, I thought it was going to be a decent subject. It turned out to be much more than that. There was a lot of crosstalk, a lot of agreements, and a lot of disagreements. But the thing is that, you know, we were adults about everything, and we made things happen. I just want to thank each and every one of you for participating and coming along and contributing in your way. And come back next week. We'll have another hot topic. Over to you, Lady T.
Thank you all, and thank you so much, Sir A, for sharing. I just have to say, dating apps, they're just not my thing. But I will provide, if it's a part 2, the 21 questions that everyone is asking about, and hopefully that will help you with the process, you know, of the online dating. But thank you all, and I wish you all the best.
All right.
Action Jackson, did you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, a great show, guys. I think Father say the step that when you do online dating, don't give too much personal information and get to know the person first before you move to the next step.
Distinguished brother.
I don't have much else to add. Just glad that everybody enjoyed the discussion tonight. Glad I was able to contribute, and you guys have a great evening.
All right. And everyone, like I said, don't let this be. But you know what? It would not be right, because every night I have to call on this person. Miss Nikki, I didn't get a chance to talk to you tonight, but we will definitely catch up on next week, Thursday. So without further ado, I want to tell each and every one of you, thank you for coming on, and good night. And guess what, y'all? Smooches. Good night.